Hey, Dave Spalding from Handgun Combatives. It's been a long time since we've been here with you doing a video. And in this particular case, it's not going to be a training video. We're going to talk to you about a product. Now, I do know a little bit about product and firearms and how to review those because after about 1,400 published articles in the gun magazines from like 1987 until just a couple of years ago, I know a little bit about how to do this. It's just that once I left writing for the gun magazines, I didn't pay attention to this stuff anymore. I just kind of shoved it off to the side, taught my training courses, and I kept up with what was new and notable from the students that showed up in my class. But just recently, Century Arms reached out to me and they said they wanted me to try their pistol, the Canik. Now, most of you know that's made in Turkey, and that Century Arms distributes it in the United States. And quite frankly, I've heard a lot of good things about it, but did not pay attention. You know what? I made a mistake because this is a pretty darn good gun. This case, it happens to be the TP9SF Elite, and it has a lot of things to take note of. Darren, why don't you come on in here and get a little closer look at it. It's basically about 5.5 inches tall, about 7.5 inches long, about 1.5 inches wide. So it's right there in that medium size. I hate to use another make, but it's a Glock 19 size pistol. But it's got a lot of pretty good features. You know, it's got interchangeable back straps. It's got an already rounded trigger guard, which is something I like. I don't want hook trigger guards. It's undercut right here at the base of the trigger guard and the grip. It's got a trigger safety right there. It's red in color, and that kind of gives it a nice contrast. It's got ambidextrous slide releases or slide stops, depending on how you look at it. The magazine button is good size. It's checkered, and it is reversible. And then it's got a pretty nice magazine funnel. I mean, you can really put those magazines in fast, and as you can see, it ejects it out pretty nice. It's got forward and rear cocking serrations, and it's got Warren tactical sights on it with a fiber optic front. And as you can see, the front is also serrated. It's kind of narrow. I would think of these more as like a competition than a combat sight. But you know, they're very, very visible, and you do have that needed notch that will allow you to one-hand manipulate this off the edge of a belt, a pocket, or some other item. As you can see, you can insert the mag, and you can hit the slide lock lever with your thumb on either hand to drop it down, or not. Totally up to you. But it's a pretty nice gun, and one of the things I do want to point out to you is it has an exceptional trigger from the factory. I took a set of weights to it. It's right at 5.5 pounds, and as you can see, Darren, can you get in close there? As you can see, it's got just a little bit of play in it, and then it hits that defined wall, catch, glitch, whatever you want to call it, that releases the striker, and then it goes. And then as you can see from there, the reset is very, very short and very, very defined. Folks, this is one of the best factory triggers I've ever used. And I'm not saying that just because Canik sent me this gun to look at. It's absolutely true. This trigger right here is so usable that it's almost kind of scary. So, good package, exceptional gun. It's a little bit heavier than some of the other polymer frame pistols. Yes, it is a little bit taller above the bore line, above the trigger finger. But what does that mean? Since my former agency went to pistols in the mid-1980s, I've carried Smith, I've carried SIG, I've carried HK, I've carried Glock. And the fact of the matter is that height over bore, I just got used to it by shooting the gun. So that's not something I really think a whole lot about. But yeah, it is a little bit taller than some of the others, but you know, to me, it's kind of like a SIG, and SIGs are fine pistols. So exceptional gun. What we're going to do here now is we're going to break real quick, and we're just going to do a real fast accuracy drill for you. But this gun is a real shooter. So let's head over to the range and check it out. Okay, we've jumped over on the range, and I want to do just a really quick little demonstration shoot, accuracy shoot, whatever you want to call it, with the Canik pistol. Now, the drill I've decided to use is the Larry Vickers Ken Hackathorn inspired The Test. And what that is 10 rounds, 10 seconds at 10 yards. And what you try to do is to keep it on the black 9 ring inside that B8 bullseye. Well, we don't have a classic B8. We've just got a bullseye we picked up at a gun store. So what I've done is I put the 3x5 card that I like to use in my classes, and we're going to use that for our center. We're going to be shooting the drill with Federal 147 grain HST hollow points. Now, the reason I like to use these is that not only have these proven to be an excellent performer in actual street shootings, it is also one of the most accurate 9mm loads across the board, regardless of the make of pistol. And I'm pretty sure it's going to do a really good job in this Canik semi-auto. So let's go back here and take a look. Got this loaded up. Now the test is shot from a ready position. So we're going to get the timer set and let's see how we do. Okay, here we go. Looks like 8:53, so we made the 10-second par time. Let's walk down, take a look. And I got a couple that screwed to the edge here, but they would have been in the 9 ring for the regular bullseye. So I'm going to consider that a successful shoot. So the Canik TP9SF Elite. If you go on the Canik website, you're going to see they have a number of various Canik pistols with all kinds of various accessories set up in competition and combat configurations. But I'm going to tell you something. If you're looking for a really high quality firearm that you can depend your life on at a reasonable price, you'd be foolish not to check out this Canik pistol. Dave Spalding, Handgun Combatives, thanks for checking in.